Welcome back to another almost end of season episode. Unfortunately, I have to say that, but we are almost near the end of our season. It was a quick one, but this year was different. It got to us faster, but it was a quick one. But nonetheless, we're here to bring you another episode of 54 Yards. If y'all haven't caught up on the week after, make sure y'all go check that out. We release that every Tuesday, I believe. Basically, we just touch up on stuff that happened the week after of college football. And then on the 54 yards, obviously, we touch up on stuff that's going to happen. Or we predict things that are going to happen. Whether we're right or wrong, that's for the teams to decide. But I'm here, none other than Cam Parlay himself. Again, that is up for the fans to decide if he's Cam Parlay or not. I don't know what he went last week, but also y'all tap in. We did write-ups last week. I went 9 for 14 on my write-ups. Pretty good if you ask me.
I agree.
Cam Parlay.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode.
Today I see you're switching teams there. Hold on.
Nah.
You doing so bad? You got to go to a team who's actually making a bowl game, huh?
Nah, chill out. Anyways,
okay.
I had to throw on the tech gear. You know what I'm saying? OU has a bye week, so I throw on the tech gear as well. Tech actually has a bye week too. But I wanted to show love to my brother's school. Obviously had a tough loss last week, and then you have South Carolina, who will hopefully put that belt on Missouri, which I know they are. They're going to do it for me. Put that belt on Missouri this week. But yeah, man, obviously if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We have a goal of trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're really close. So anything helps. Share it with your friend. If you love the episode, comment whatever parts you love. And we also on Twitter, if you guys, like Carl's mentioned, want to check us out, you can follow me on Twitter, Big Bang Theory with 2 G's. Find all our write-ups. We're posting pretty consistently on there. I said we post like 4 to 5 different like betting menus a week. So if you guys want to make some money over there, make sure you guys do that. Use the link in the description for Outlier. Get your 7-day free trial. But we're gonna jump it off into the episode.
It's free, man. Who doesn't like free? Okay,
exactly.
You have a week to make some money. After that, there is a monthly fee or a yearly fee, but whatever you make, it just pays for itself. Who doesn't like free? Try it out, man.
Agreed. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited. I'm excited for everything. I think it's gonna be an interesting week of college football. Really, a lot of things have been kind of interesting, especially with the playoff polls coming out, which we'll get into.
People have been going.
Yeah, the committee is definitely kind of doing what they did last year in some aspects. But
actually, I'll just say, go ahead.
I mean, listen. Did you see that thread I sent you by College Football Nerds or no?
Yes, I read the whole thing.
Yeah,
most of it.
Okay, got you. So, it's just an interesting dynamic, right? There's just so much going on. There's so many different scenarios. In my opinion, I think they need to go to some kind of like BCS system, kind of how they used to back in the day, where it was strictly computer generated, to kind of take a lot of the bias out of it. There's a lot of people in this playoff committee that are like athletic directors or have affiliations with other college football programs. So they're going to make decisions that are in the best interest of not only their college, but also the conference that they represent. So I feel like that's been interesting. But before we go into that, because that's probably going to be a long-winded conversation, let's jump it off. Texas is going on the road to Fayetteville to play Arkansas. Vietnam is what they like to call it there. Very hard place to play at times. This is a team that in 2021 splattered Texas when they came in.
We'll just take a look at this right here.
I think y'all only had like 50-something yards of total offense or some crazy stat, like 57 yards of total like net positive offense. Wasn't a close game at all.
2nd and 11.
We'll just look at it. I'll let this play.
Wasn't a close game at all. And like, I think this was the game initially where there's a lot of guys on that Texas team, like Bijan, Jordan Whittington, Xavier Worthy, people like that. But I think this was the game that kind of obviously Sark knew what it took to make an SEC caliber team. But I think this is the team. This is the game that was like, okay, this is where we're lacking in this many areas. I don't think it was announced yet that we were joining the SEC. I think it came out like a couple weeks after this, or maybe like a month after this, that we were joining. But I think this was the game to where Sark, from a measuring standpoint, was like, okay, the fact that not only we got pushed around against Arkansas, but this isn't even like an elite SEC team, and they're doing this to us, shows we have a lot of work to do. And from that point on, I think that's kind of with what Sark went and his mindset and approach in the line of scrimmage play and things like that. And this will be an important game. This is a rivalry that was big in the Southwest Conference back in the day.
They hate us.
They hate y'all. Y'all don't like them. Maybe they definitely hate y'all more than y'all don't like them. But it's gonna be a tough game. Arkansas is not a bad team at all. Obviously, they are 5-4. But I was telling Carlos,
interesting stat you told me.
Yeah, off camera. I was telling Carlos off camera that they have the number 2 offense in the SEC, right behind Ole Miss, and they're top 5 as well in the whole country in yards. So this is a team that can move the football and will create some explosive plays. So it should be a good game. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah. Last time they whooped their ass 41-20. So let's not make that happen again. But I'm just gonna say this: we're at Arkansas, okay? If we beat Arkansas, I don't want to hear any Tennessee fans talk about the college football playoff in Texas.
Mm.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, they did beat them.
So we'll be playing at the same place against the same team. I don't want to. Well, actually, I don't know if it's the same team because I don't know if
the SEC reports did come out. They came out yesterday.
The running back?
Type in.
I can't remember his name.
On Twitter, the other screen, type in SEC Mike, and he normally posts them all.
What's his name? The one that was with us.
Yeah, click that dude. And then he posts.
What's
who?
The running back that was with him, he was a quarterback with us. Now he's a running back. Can't remember his name.
There you go.
Jaquindon Jackson, probable. Okay,
gotcha.
Jaquindon Jackson. I don't know why I can remember his name. John Blank. Jaquindon Jackson is in, so Taylon Green's in.
Taylon Green is the key factor. He's the one that makes
can move. Yeah, if we can, I will say this: if we can contain him, I'll feel more confident about Marcel Reed.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree.
Everybody's pretty much.
Everybody's pretty helpful, and then the guys that are hurt really weren't contributing like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this is I love the injury reports that come out. I think every conference needs to do this. I don't know why it's only the SEC that's doing this. This should be mandatory in all the power conferences. It should.
This is we'll get to it later, but I wonder if they're pulling a Billy Napier. Like, I wonder how that's allowed. But
yeah, it's just some gamesmanship, just trying to, make your opponent either prepare for something that they won't see or make them just think about it. That at the end of the day, like, everyone only has so many hours in the day. You got to prepare for Nico.
Yeah.
Play,
but it's like the NFL report. You get in trouble if you don't report the correct thing,
Yeah, for sure. They're not lying on there. Say questionable.
You got carted off the field. That's all I'm gonna say.
He was warming up. I saw him warming up. He looked actually all right to me last week, DJ, and then he didn't play. And like I was telling you,
but if it's a hamstring, Dak looked all right on the sideline. Don't mean nothing.
Yeah, but it might have been like, there's a thing. He probably could have played, but it was probably like, for what type deal? Like, let's just get you a little bit healthier. We're not playing for anything. Like, if Florida was, 7-2 or whatever, go playing against Texas, I think he would have tried to give it a go. But like, since they were 4-5 or whatever, like, no reason to.
Maybe, but here we are with us. College football games. Excuse me, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are with us. We control our own destiny at the end of the day. The way Georgia lost last week. Win, how we're in. Obviously, don't want to lose and give people opportunities. You sent me also a video the other day that we could also finish 8th in the SEC. which is absurd. So win and you're in. Simple as that.
Yeah, y'all got to win out. You do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if y'all drop a game, the way the committee is doing things, I feel like somebody's gonna get fucked. And I just
sure.
you just can't put it. I'm not saying like Texas should, but they're already going off this strength of schedule. The teams that they did beat that were ranked aren't gonna finish the season ranked. Like they're using all these like kind of scenarios to kind of like already show what they would do.
And there's also people saying like people don't have ranked wins and all this, and like they're saying we don't have any ranked wins, but
yeah, exactly.
We beat people when they were ranked. I mean, you can only, like I said last week, you can only play who's in front of you. It's not our fault that people were bad this year. It's not our fault that the SEC gave us this schedule and Florida's down. Who else was it? Florida's down.
We're down.
Where y'all are down. Like it's not our fault that happened. You know, it's not. I mean, we just play who's in front of us. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 100%.
People are high on Indiana and say they should be ranked ahead of Penn State, but we went and smacked Michigan at Michigan more than they even beat Michigan. So at the end of the day, I was thinking about it. Everybody's pretty much contradicting what they say in some way or some form. And at the end of the day, this is what I was going to say later, but at the end of the day, it's all going to play out how it's supposed to play out. Whether teams win or lose, whether they face each other in the playoffs. If they're meant to win, they're going to win. It's going to play out however it's going to play out. All right? Simple as that. Back to Texas. 11 a.m. kickoff at Arkansas. I already said at the beginning of the year that I always mention the beginning of the year if y'all been following, but I said we're going to have 2 losses, Georgia, A&M. Been right on one of them. Second one's yet to come. But I said this Arkansas game is scary because they hate us. And the last time we went there and played, do I think we have a better team? Absolutely. Do I think they have a better team? Absolutely. They hate us. They want to beat us, and it's not easy to play there. Them fans are loud. They're annoying, and they're going to do everything they can in their power to disrupt our offensive flow. The good thing for us is obviously you see here, passing yards, we're 10th in the nation. They're 125th in defense in the nation. So they're a bottom tier pass defense team. So I'm confident that we're going to be able to light up the scoreboard. Now, with that being said, don't be surprised at the same time if we can't light up the scoreboard because it's a rivalry game. And in those type of games, anything can go. Everything's out the window. These stats, out the window. Their records, out the window. The rankings, out the window. It's a rivalry game. Anything could go. Like I said, last time we played them, we were ranked 15. They weren't ranked, and they whooped us 40-20. Anything can happen. But I'm positive that we will go and handle business and take care of business. I think the game's going to be kind of close. What do we open up as right here? 13.5. They'll probably cover that spread. I don't think we win by 14.
Well, I thought it's at 16. Is that on ESPN Bet?
This is on FanDuel
and DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw 16.5 on ESPN on the other tab. Maybe I'm high.
No,
okay.
No, 13.5.
Okay, it opened up at 16.5. Got you. So the line's been moving a little bit, which I wish it would have got in on that early action.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, don't expect anything that we're gonna blow them out or they're gonna blow us out. I think it's gonna be a hard fought game. I said the score is gonna be less than 14 points. I do think we'll win. It's probably gonna be like by 7 or 10, something like that. But it probably may come down to the fourth quarter. If we continue to play like we played last week, especially on defense, like I said, if we can contain Taylor and Green, I'm confident containing the Marcel Reed. That's going to be the biggest thing is containing Taylor and Green because I feel like that is their offense. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball on us that much. Let's see what's their rush defense? They're like mid. They're better than. Yeah, I mean rush offense are like mid, but I mean we have a pretty good rushing defense. I don't think they're able to run the ball on us. It's gonna be passing if anything. So we got to continue to do what we do on defense: create turnovers, create havoc, and we're gonna win this ball game fair and square. The big things that I want to see. No turnovers. No turnovers from anybody. Nobody fumbling the ball. Nobody throwing in there interceptions. Nobody muffing any punts. Nothing
Yeah,
that's happened.
just some
Just
clean
clean football.
football.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest number one thing that I want to see. Number two thing I want to see is continue to dominate with the run game. Um, Build off of last week's momentum. Run the ball well. Control the clock. Control the game. And take care of business. Because last week, let's see. What do we have? I don't know if we should take away some yards, but like this play right here that won for 44 yards, would you count that, or would you just count it running backs?
Like, what do you mean? Like the explosive runs?
No, the total rushing yards.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't count that because it is a run play,
but it's not like a running back. But even then, like our main running back got 4 carries and no yards.
Well, it's not even
But
that, though.
You look at Gibson, true freshman.
Yeah, and a lot of that was in
100
garbage
yards.
time.
It was, but still.
But something I wanted to point out is y'all's receiving yards from the running backs, because a lot of that is running plays. They're like swing passes, screens, an extended version of the run game. I know people are like, "Oh, I hate that term," but that's what it is. And the fact that Jaden Blue had 3 for 67, Contravian Weiser had 3 for 59, those guys had an additional 100 yards receiving. A lot of those are short passes turned into explosive plays.
And if you watch them, when they do receive the ball, they're very good in open field. They can make people miss.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to get an extra, we'll just say, I don't know, 3 yards off of a miss, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Those are run plays. I mean, it's an easy completion. You catch it, get upfield, you get 10 yards. A lot of that is like, it's safe play, high efficiency.
And and to your point, that may be the reason why we don't run the ball as much, is because he looks at those as run plays, and
exactly.
They're behind the line still, and they get it basically where they'll get a running play, and they create yards off of that, and that could be a reason why we don't run the ball, because he has success in that. No one has yet stopped it, so why stop doing it?
Agreed.
Yeah. Actually, one big thing I do want to look at for this game: 61 sunny, so no rain. But yeah, I think we go in there and we take care of business, and we do what we got to do, and we win the game, get the W, continue on to Kentucky.
Yeah. Season's flying by. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
That'll be the good thing about the playoffs, though, is like normally we have that long ass wait before the first playoff games, and now like it'll be like a week, and then we'll after the conference title, and then we'll go right into it. So it'll be more
Taylor
like
Green leads all SEC QBs on rush yards and evaded tackles on the scramble runs this season.
Yeah, the question will be, how healthy is he really? If he's healthy and he's good with, he doesn't turn the oh, never mind. I thought it was 1 interception. So he's thrown 7 picks, but still, they have a receiver that I like a lot because I take him a lot of my parlays. It's that Armstrong kid, 55 for 857. 1 touchdown is crazy, but he gets a lot of yards. I like him a lot. He's from Dallas too. So, he's probably going to show up in this game playing against Texas. So,
yeah. Y'all on a bye, so I guess we ain't got to touch too much on y'all.
Y'all. Yeah, we're just having an OC search right now. That's just all that is. I won't speak too much in depth because I don't want to ruin my sources, but got some stuff cooking.
You can say some names because it hasn't been narrowed down. You can say who you're looking at.
Yeah, some names.
One of the biggest names that was sent was Billy Napier's name, but obviously he's staying at Florida.
Yeah, some names that are standing out right now is Dan Mullen, obviously good friend of Brent Venables, very good QB coach. The only reason he got fired for Florida is because he doesn't like recruiting. But he's a good offensive guy. He can call the plays with some of the best of them. So he's on the list. You got Craddock who's at Tulane. Really good OC right now. Tulane, literally, I think they're undefeated in conference right now. Really good team. And then he obviously has Mensa as well. So, we're kind of looking at like a QB OC like situation to bring in 2 guys to compete with the QBs we have now. And then also a guy that knows the system. I think that's something that hasn't really been talked about a ton is, Dylan Gabriel, even though he's learning a system now. He learned a system this year at Oregon, but like prior to that, I mean, he was with Levy for 2 years and then was with Levy again at Oklahoma for 2 years. So he had a lot of time in the system. That's why he was immediately easy to plug and play. So I like that aspect. And then obviously we're looking at Arbuckle from Washington State, who's my personal favorite candidate. Very good OC. He's only 29. He's from the state of Texas. His QB John Mateer is really good. Very efficient with the football. Very explosive playmaker.
That's why he's your favorite candidate. He's
why?
on post chair QB.
Maybe I'm not gonna say much, but Arbuckle, I mean, he's never really had the elite talent, and he's developed them all. I mean, he developed Bailey Zapp, he developed Cam Ward, he developed.
That's
Austin
the one
Riley.
from. Is that the one from Victoria, Texas? The one that was on the Patriots.
Yes, the one that went to Western Kentucky. Yeah, he's developed all these guys. None of these guys have ever been composite ranked players. He would go into a situation at Oklahoma where he, is coaching up, who, depending on who's there, but even if Jackson or Hawkins, one of them leaves, those guys are still the most talented QBs from a recruit standpoint that he's had the ability to coach. And then obviously with the weapons and receivers and offensive line that will be around him, I really like him as a candidate. And he's young. So you want to get a guy that's young that won't be scratching at the bit to get a head coaching job right away, somewhere where he can kind of establish himself. I see if he goes to OU, he could be there for 3 to 5 years. Kind of get that experience, maybe, win a couple of championships if it's possible, and then kind of move on. But I really like his background. The Texas thing really sticks out for me, and the age thing sticks out for me. A guy that's 29 years old can go into a high school and immediately relate to these kids, listen to the same music they're listening to. All that stuff does matter, especially in today's day and age. You got to be the cool coach. So,
would you be the cool coach?
We'll see what happens, man. I hope we just get a good OC. It's I'm in an interesting spot because obviously we want to make a bowl game. We have 2 tough teams left on the schedule.
I just need you to roll some seasons, man.
Yeah, I'm going for Florida this week against LSU. I really want the Gators to win. I really want Lagway to win, mainly because LSU being if they lose this game to Florida, we'll probably play them in the morning or midday in Death Valley. The game won't be the same. LSU will be kind of down. OU is not going to be this high-profile opponent coming in, and that gives us a really good chance to beat them there. And then also, too, if they're down, people say that players don't quit and stuff, but they're already bowl eligible. They're really not going to have as much to play for because right now they want to play for SEC championship, a playoff spot. OU will still have something to play for even if we lose to Alabama, trying to become bowl eligible. So, I'm hoping that that's the case. And
I need y'all to beat Bama.
I want to beat Bama. Bash been talking that gas, so I told him I said,
need y'all to beat Bama.
Hopefully y'all don't lose this.
I need
Jackson Arnold legacy.
No. You talk about the other legacy player,
Hawkins legacy.
No.
The Casey.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see if he plays.
I need a Casey Thompson legacy game.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play, but.
You gotta try something at this point.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it's just
he can at least maybe move the ball. He's been in college for 15 years. Yeah,
well, it's not even that. Just don't even turn that. Just don't turn it over. We just need to run the football and just don't turn it over.
Yeah, is Oklahoma on the bye?
Shrink the game. Yeah, or Alabama. I think Mercer. No, Mercer. That's a bye.
That's a bye.
Yeah,
that's a bye. Yeah. But yeah, y'all gotta get some momentum. 1-5 in the conference.
Yeah, that's
5-5 overall. Yeah,
it's not
great, one game's gonna be tough. One game is gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I do think it is possible. I do, especially with the bye week and getting guys healthy and back. We just can't turn the football over. I mean, we showed we can hang with these teams. I mean, we had the lead on Ole Miss. We had more offensive yards than Georgia had on Ole Miss, with Jackson Arnold and his turnover pro himself and the injuries and the O-line play. So it is possible. Now we just got to do it. I just haven't seen we have not played a complete game the whole season. We're due. We're due for one. In one of these games, we're just due to put it all together once.
Maybe.
At least once, hopefully.
Maybe. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. That's what I thought about our teams for 10 years, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah, we'll see though.
We'll see. But some slates this week. Did On 3 put out
a picture?
Yeah,
they did.
Let me see. Let me pull it up.
I sent it in Discord too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Where we at? Boom,
Yeah.
boom. Week 12 we in?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So week
Hmm.
12 matchups. We got Tennessee, Georgia gonna be the biggest. Arkansas, Texas. Touch up on that. Clemson, Pitt. Utah, Colorado. Virginia, Notre Dame. Uh, Florida, LSU. Nebraska, USC. Don't know why that game's on there.
Just from brands, probably.
Yeah,
That's all
maybe.
it is.
They're looking for a bowl game too. Both are actually looking for a bowl game. Um, Missouri, South Carolina. You want that belt to ass, don't you, Cam?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oregon, Wisconsin, Kansas, BYU. So we'll touch on. These games are kind of poo cheese. Ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna
We'll
be.
just start from the bottom. With that good old little crusty outlet game. I'm trying to stay awake, drink a few more beers, throw this game
Yeah,
on.
this is an interesting game, man. The reason why is because Kansas has been playing some football lately. As we talked in the week after, they've been kind of hitting their stride, playing good offensively, and they're a team that is trying to get to a bowl game. Obviously, they are 3-6, but if they went out, they make it to a bowl game. So they got a lot to play for still. And BYU, obviously, they have a lot to play for, but BYU is a team that just struggled last week. We know it is against Utah. It is a rivalry, but Kansas, I think, matches up well with them.
I mean, they've
Kansas
been struggling the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Kansas actually has the athletes, has the QB, has the running back. They can score on this team. It's not like it's BYU's ranked 6, they're way better. Like there's not really a big gap in the Big 12 from a talent standpoint. And the only team that really has it is Colorado when it comes to like having the best QB by a large margin, having the best skill player by a large margin. They're the only team that has it, really. So you know, this game is going to be close, I think. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Kansas money line. BYU on upset alert. I think
It
Kansas
basically
is
is a
getting
pick.
hot.
In college, 3 points is a pick 'em.
Yeah. So, hey, Kansas, the Vegas is agreeing with me to a degree, right? So, I'm going to go Kansas money line. I like to see BYU get upset here. I'm kind of tired of, we had some debates with Steve because, he is in the Big 12 still, Big 12 homer. But we had some debates with Steve, and I was trying to tell him, I was like, listen, bro, like BYU, they might be undefeated. They might have this, their schedule might look a certain way. But I was like, if they were to make the playoffs, they would be a team that everyone want to play, a team that everyone feels like they could beat. And then Josh Pate came out with his poll, and BYU was ranked in like the 20s in his model poll. And I'm like, bro, like just because they're ranked 6 because they haven't played anyone, that doesn't mean a team like South Carolina would beat BYU by like 20 points, in my opinion. So it's like that's just how you got to like look at things.
I mean, really, they should have lost last week. Is the other thing. I mean, that holding call. State. Well, I'm just saying that holding call was just I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no words for that one. I don't know.
Well, that's another thing too.
It was 4th down. They got blessed, and then they just got in. I don't know how they just started driving down the field.
Well, that's another thing too. I was listening to Greg McElroy and David Pollack, and they were talking about kind of the playoff rankings, and they were like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's a team to be undefeated, this, that, and that, but they were like, we should be trying to get the 12 best teams in. And then they went through like all, which I kind of want to do with you whenever we get to it, but they went through teams 1 through like, I guess like 15 through 19, and they basically like said, could this team win a natty? Yes or no? So like, I feel like that would be a good exercise for us to do later on once we get through these games. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it just, oh man, I don't know. This game's probably going to be what is Kansas's offense going to do. That's that. I feel like that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, Kansas is kind of bad in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
They're like mid-tier in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's what can Kansas pass game do? I feel like that's unless they just do run the ball and they control the clock and the time of possession and then go up and just get maybe a stop or two, then run the ball, control the clock, stuff like that. Just grind out, just grueling game for BYU. I mean, I want them to lose. You know me. I like the underdogs and I like chaos, so I want them to lose. If Kansas played like they played last week, I think they can beat majority of the teams in the country. That was the Kansas we
Hmm.
thought was going to be um, the team this year, but I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, it turned out differently. But uh, they're playing great football right now. They just continue with that. They got to win out. I don't want them to win out because I don't want them to beat Colorado, but they got to win out to be bowl eligible, and it starts here.
Yeah, I
You're
agree.
0-0 on the season right now. It starts here.
Yeah, you just gotta close the year out strong, and I still think Lance Leipold is the guy for the job. Unfortunately for him, it just sucks that he had the team to really compete for a playoff spot this year, and it just didn't work the way it should have. But hopefully they can close the year out strong and keep that momentum going on at Kansas. They also had a weird year. I mean, they haven't even been playing at home and whatnot, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Next, which
Yeah, next we have
I
Oregon.
thought this game would be, I don't know.
Wisconsin fell
Like,
off a cliff a little bit.
yeah, well, they need a win.
Yeah, I mean they lost to Penn State, and then they got blown out by Iowa, and then I think they lost to someone else.
They could have beat Penn State too.
Yeah, and then Iowa beat them by like 30 points.
Yeah.
Um, but this is a team like Oregon is a team that's taking care of business every game. They kind of struggled a little bit last week, but Maryland just is scrappy. He played them well. They still did fine. But this is a game where it'll be interesting. It'll be Oregon's first time going to Madison, Wisconsin. It's definitely a harder place to play. They do jump around in the fourth quarter and things like that, but I mean, Oregon they just have an answer for everything so far, especially offensively. They're really efficient with the football. Will Stein is one of the best play callers right now in America. Dylan Gabriel is a veteran, doesn't turn the ball over, plays good football, and anything Wisconsin wants to do, Oregon's gonna have an answer for defensively. So I don't really see Oregon being in danger at all in this game at all. I think they take care of business. That's a well-coached team. And I think they pull this one out. I think they probably cover too. I don't know what the spread is, but
Sorry, I was messing with this. I think it's
no,
like
you're good.
14 and a half or something.
Yeah, let me pull up Outlier on
No, you're
my
good.
little
You're good. I
laptop.
got it right yonder. I got it right yonder. Yeah, 14.
Yeah, that's about right. I think they cover that. I think they win by
Yeah,
two
but I was
scores.
looking at this. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I found it out the other day. um, you can filter it to go to away games.
Yeah, I knew you could do
Show
that.
only on away games. Boom. So it's going to show you what Dylan's done on all these away games.
He's 7 out of 9 over 289, which is crazy.
249, I believe.
249.
Yeah,
Okay.
249 and a half. Yep. I mean, I don't expect much from this game. I think it's be a blowout. I mean, I was gonna say you can have the same conversation with Oregon as Texas, but Oregon beat the team that they played. That was ranked
Yeah.
high, and we got
Mhm.
absolutely
Yeah.
smacked around. So I guess I can't
Yeah.
really
And
say
y'all
that,
were at
but
home
and
too.
we're at home. I mean, they were too.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, even if they lost, the game was just competitive. Ours was not competitive at all.
Yeah.
But it sucks because they haven't really played anybody, and they might not lose a game this season until it comes to playoffs. I do
For the
still
conference
think,
title.
maybe, I don't know.
I
Maybe.
mean, if they play Ohio State, I think
I don't
Ohio
know.
State can beat them in the
I'm
second
not going to
time.
confidently say that Ohio State's going to beat them.
No, neither am I. I'm saying I think they could though. Neutral site. I
It's
mean, they lost by one on the road, so
They
they're going to be
lost by
playing.
one on the road for sure. But I don't know. Just watching Ohio State, they just they have the best team on paper. They
What's
have
the
the
play
best
calling?
roster on paper. They just they don't look like a dominant team.
It's their play calling. It's bad.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna say that Ohio State wins the game if they play again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Oregon still does look like a team that is not, you know, a, a dominant team that can go and beat anybody. I
Hmm.
feel like if they play some other matchups, they might struggle when. Um, but this game, they take care of business. I'm not expecting too much from it, and I think they do cover the spread at 14. They've been blowing everybody out the water except Ohio State.
Hmm.
So and I think they continue to do that. I mean, they got a, um, I would say top three receiving core. I'm gonna put probably Ohio State at number one.
Yeah, I
But
mean
I
when
mean,
they're
maybe
healthy,
I could put
they're up
them at
there.
number one since they beat Ohio State. I don't know,
Yeah, they
but
got some guys.
they got a great receiving core. So they got a great receiving core
Um,
for one. For two, they got a quarterback like Cam said earlier. Has been in the system for a while, and he knows how to play. So they just, I mean, their defense is great. They got a good running back. He's getting over 100 yards a game total purpose
mhm.
yards. So when
Yeah,
he got,
complete offense is very
yeah,
balanced.
when he got stuff like that, man, it's gonna be hard to beat this team.
Yeah.
But they are beatable. Um, but Wisconsin's not going to be the team to do it. I think it's going to be a blowout. So,
Mm.
on to the next. Cam's favorite team, Missouri, and the
Belt to
Gamecocks.
ass,
Belt to
South
ass.
Carolina.
So it's
This shit ain't. I'm
money
telling you
line.
this.
Put the
Money
house on it.
line, bet the spread, both. I don't think this game's going to be close. There's multiple reasons why. Obviously, I know like they beat us last week. We beat ourselves. They're going into Columbia, a team that has some swagger. They have some juice. All you casual fans that are watching South Carolina now, no, me and Carl's been watching South Carolina all season, and this is a good football team. They're very well, they're very talented. They're well coached. Their defensive line, in my opinion, I still think is the best defensive line in the SEC. They wreck
Really?
havoc. Yeah,
Better
their
than
edge.
Tennessee and
Yeah,
A&M? Well, I guess they beat
yeah.
A&M, but
If I had to rank SEC defensive line, I would probably go South Carolina and then Ole Miss like 1A, 1B, and then I'd probably like have then Tennessee, then A&M, and then kind of rotate down from there. I mean, I would say like Oklahoma's is really good too, but we just are like good as a group. Like we don't have like that one guy like how these other guys have, or two guys how these other guys have that are just super dominant, stand out, wreak havoc. But dude, they're really good, bro. And I just think Brady Cook isn't playing. I just saw the injury report; he's doubtful as well. So that's going to be an issue. They're obviously going on the road, and South Carolina they have a lot to play for. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to make a playoff, but
they
they
could.
win this
If
game.
they want to, they need a win.
Yeah, they win this.
Oh, we lost them. We lost them. Cam, come back. I miss you. But like you're saying, oh, he's back actually. Here we are. Go ahead, finish your sentence. I don't know what happened.
I said anyone can lose any given week, so there's no clear like cut dominant team. So for me, I'm like, okay, this is a team that I think can really kind of be just dangerous. I mean, they're just hot right now. They're playing good football. Their defense is really, really good, and Missouri's offense is really, really limited. And then Missouri, when they went on the road, these two games they played A&M, they played Bama on the road. They've gotten smacked on the road. Like they've only scored 10 total points and have got outscored by like over 50 points. So I don't think South Carolina's offense is as dynamic as those two's, but they've shown some, consistencies with Lenore Sellers and Raheem Sanders, especially the running back's really good at South Carolina. Like I really do think um, Missouri, like you can't be a team like Missouri that's like a playoff contender, still in the SEC championship hunt, but then like every time you've gotten on the road, you've gotten splattered and playing against a good team with a pulse. So like I said, South Carolina money line, take it. I think the Beamer ball is real. I think the Gamecocks got a lot of momentum right now. So
I think Beamer to OU.
no.
Well, yeah, no, I think if you watched the game last week, Missouri's offense does not look good. I can't even say their defense looks good just because of how bad Oklahoma's offense is. No shot to you, Cam.
No, it's bad.
Um, when they're going into South Carolina on the road, the game it's a 3:15 game, but um, like he said, they still have something to play for. I mean, they want to try to make that college football playoff, and it can be likely they could finish in the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to win these games. You got to want Clemson to win. You got to win these games. You got to win it convincingly, and they got to go in there and take care of business. I don't think it'll be close. Going in there and playing is tough, and They win by 14. Yeah, I'm gonna say they win by 14. They're gonna be on the field a lot, so they win by 14.
Yeah, I feel it. I like it.
Two other teams. Wow, what is going on today? We've lost them lost you like 3 times today. I wonder what's going on. My internet might be poo. Who knows? Next got Nebraska, USC. Both trying to get ball. Well, actually, what is going on over there in at USC? What is the that report that came out? Well, I didn't really read too much on it. Just
Yeah, I didn't read too much on it. I just know that. I mean, the ship is sinking in
but
LA.
what was it like the coaching violations though? Well, what was that about?
Yeah, I didn't read it. I just sent it. Like I didn't like go in depth about it.
Yeah, you
so
hate
I
them
don't
that
really,
much. You don't even want to read about it.
bro. Because listen, I'm not worried about them, bro. We got our own problems to worry about. But USC, this is a team that. I mean, like I said, every like I say it all the time. Like he's regressed as a coach ever since he took the job at Oklahoma. Obviously, yes, that was his first job, but like he never elevated OU. Obviously he like won Heisman's, won the Big 12, had the formula out how to win the Big 12, but he's regressed since he's not only been there, but even going to USC. I mean, he went to the Pac-12 championship his first year with Caleb. They lose to Tulane. The second year they go 7-5. This year they're 4-5. Right? So like it's clearly an issue. The way they're recruiting too is, I mean, all these recruits are flipping. There's rumors that came out this week that Julian Lewis is probably going to flip to Colorado. He's also visiting the Tennessee-Georgia game this week as well, which I can't blame the kid. If I'm 17 years old and I'm being highly recruited like that, I'm going to every game I can as well. But if he goes to Colorado, one, that'll be huge because that's a big-time flip. They're saying he might, Lincoln will try to flip Longstreet, who's committed to A&M right now, 5-star QB. If you're a QB, like I'm still saying Lincoln Riley's still one of the best to go play for, but it's showing that that's kind of worn off in today's day and age, the NIL era. And I think it's an issue that he doesn't recruit his own state as well, but we'll get into that another time. But I think Nebraska is a team, with Matt Rule, is doing better. I think they kind of were doing all right, and then they kind of started falling into some of the deficiencies on offense. They just promoted Dana Holgerson to offensive coordinator. So, Dylan Raiola, get ready to learn air raid, buddy.
For real.
I think, this is a good decision for them. I don't know if they have the personnel quite yet at receiver to really make that work, but I think long-term it's a good decision. Dylan's still young. And I think for Nebraska, all you're really hoping for is tangible success. Last year, they didn't make a bowl game. I think this year we get to a bowl game and maybe you can finish 7-5 or 8-4 or, something like that. I feel like you're in a good position for year 3 to take that jump next year to push for a playoff spot, which we thought they were going to do this year. Then they ran into a buzzsaw playing Indiana, Ohio State, and then really the UCLA loss was crazy. But, I mean, they could have beat Ohio State. They showed they can play up in these games, and then they got a tough slate to finish it out.
Yeah, that's what I say. They might not make a bowl game either. We said Wisconsin's down, but they're still a tough team. And then at Iowa's still a tough team. Iowa, still can beat some great teams. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say they beat Iowa. At 6:30 on NBC is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And then at USC like. Unfortunate as it is, Lincoln Riley hasn't been what he was supposed to be, and for this season, I think a lot of that has to do with quarterback play because his defense has gotten better. Obviously, not drastically better, but it has gotten better, and they are better than what they were last year. But I think this is the first time he hasn't had a how do I want to say this? I guess just the best QB in the nation.
Yeah, just like a guy that's clearly an NFL starter.
Yes, a difference maker in college football or someone that you're going to be scared to play.
Because literally everyone he's coached,
Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, and Caleb Williams,
and then even Spencer started some games this year. So all those guys are NFL caliber guys can all have started this season. Miller Moss, I don't know if he would be a starter in the NFL.
Yeah,
He'd probably be a backup.
He might be a backup late draft pick.
Yeah,
like mid 6th, 7th round.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the issue is. He just doesn't have that killer of a quarterback that he's had in the years past, and it's showing. And I think for his style of offense and his play calling, that's what he needs, and that's what will ultimately get them wins. Like I said, the defense is better than last year, but the offense isn't as good as it's been in years past.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he needs to go either in the transfer portal. It could be. I mean, I don't know who's going to transfer, but I mean, Connor Wegman's going to be in there for sure. I don't know some of the other ones that will probably be in there.
Boston College QB.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in there as well. I don't know if these are going to be guys that can make a difference in your offense, but I feel like they're kind of better than what you have now. But I think that's the biggest thing. He just doesn't have the quarterback that he's had in the past.
I mean, yeah. There's a ton of guys at Ohio State too that might not play ever. They have a crazy QB room. So does Alabama. Yeah. So there's some guys that might enter the portal that we don't expect. I mean, hell, Jackson Arnold could enter. Like there's people that you feel like because at the end of the day, like there's people you could get and be like, man, I could coach him up. I could.
And maybe him. Jackson Arnold might fit that offense better because that's what he wants to run.
Yeah. No, for sure. I agree.
So I don't know. I think that's I think that is what is wrong with USC. They just need that quarterback in that system, and I don't think Miller Moss is that guy, unfortunately. But on to this game. I think 8.5 is a lot on this game.
Who's favored?
USC.
That is too much.
I think 8.5 is a lot. I'm gonna take Nebraska to cover the spread. One thing I do want to see though,
okay. And the thing is with USC, they lose all their games in the damn fourth quarter. Like they have the leads and they lose.
Yeah, and with the exception of Purdue, they have lost every away game. Purdue's horrible though. So
yeah, Nebraska doesn't play well on the road. Huh?
Yeah, it's looking like they don't play well on the road. I mean, they played well to Ohio State, but they still lost. They did not play well to Indiana. They got absolutely
that was the game where we were like, okay, because they were 5-1 going into that game.
Yeah, that's when Indiana were like, okay, maybe you know what I'm saying. Indiana can, but yeah, they don't play well on the road, and like Cam said, USC is in the game for the most part. Until the fourth quarter, they just blow fourth quarter leads. I don't know what that stems from, but they blow fourth quarter leads. Can't do that in today's day and age. No, but I didn't know this, but they're tied 12th in passing yards in the nation. They had 291.2 a game, which I thought they'd be a little bit lower.
Makes sense,
but
they've been in a lot of close games.
Yeah.
Too. So they don't really ever get. I feel like they don't ever get into like shut it down mode.
Yeah.
Like they're obviously always having to constantly run their offense.
Yeah. So I think USC wins, but I'm gonna take Nebraska to cover the spread.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna go with that as well. I do think USC finds a way to win this game. I think it'll take a little bit, especially with it being the first game with Dylan Raiola in the air raid, to have to make that many decisions. In the passing game, which, he's capable, but obviously he's still a young guy. And I just, like I said, don't think they have the personnel yet to run it to the way it needs to be. So USC definitely winning, Nebraska to cover.
And I think it's more safe for Matt Rule to not make a bowl game than it is for Lincoln Riley to not make a bowl game.
For sure. Absolutely. The pressure will be cranked up. I think both teams still find a way to make a bowl game. Maybe USC less than this one. I think USC has to win this game to make a bowl game because they play Notre Dame still. So, and they're not going to beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So.
But on to the next. Sneeze take it over.
Yeah, we got Florida and versus LSU. LSU just came off a splattering at home to Alabama, so you know how the morale is going to be probably not as high. Game wasn't close. They still have a lot to play for. There's a scenario where they could still get a first round bye, which is nuts. So
USC? I mean LSU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So LSU, they have to win out. Obviously, they need some things to go their way. So this is a playoff game for LSU, and nothing better for Florida, a team that's looking to get bowl eligible themselves, a team that's 4-5, to get a win here. They can do it. They've been playing well against some better teams. They've been playing better football. Obviously, the Texas game doesn't really show what they've been doing as of late. They were down to their third string QB playing against the best defense in the country. Doesn't really, I think, take away from the job Billy's doing there right now. But they got DJ Lagway, a really good QB, a guy that me and Carlos are both high on. I think he will be healthy for this game. Will probably want to play. And LSU and Florida is a long-time rivalry game in the SEC. So Florida's going to want to show up. They're going to want to beat them. This is another thing Billy Napier can use as a momentum-building piece. He obviously secured the job, so he's going to have the recruits next year. So you want to be able to continue to build off this, show up and win this game. And the line is low. I mean, it's 4.5 LSU. I could see Florida winning this game, and I'm actually going to have Florida outright winning it. Florida money line. If DJ plays. If he doesn't play, then no.
Yeah,
but I think if DJ plays,
even if he doesn't play, I think it'll still be a closer game. But the biggest thing for me, I think you cursed the boy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But Nussmeier has gone backwards, man. Ever since you said he was the best quarterback in the SEC, that boy has gone backwards. The biggest thing is gonna be take care of the ball for him. He's been creating a lot of turnovers. I wonder how many interceptions he has on the year, and even fumbles. But he's creating a lot Not in great times of the game either. That's the biggest thing. He has 11 interceptions on the season, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So you're basically going 2 touchdowns to a pick. So you're bound to get 1 pick in the game. Is there fumbles on here? No, but he's fumbled the ball a few times.
Yeah, and I think it's the offense is so I just didn't think make it harder than what it needs to be. Caden Durham is one of the better running backs in the country as a true freshman, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. But I feel like they don't they don't run the ball. They remind me of the Cowboys.
Chill out, man.
No, hold on. Just a team that
we're hurting right now.
Just chooses not to run the football for whatever reason.
We're more down in Oklahoma.
Oh, for sure. But a team that just chooses not to run the football for some reason. And I think it hurts the team because, it just puts him in obvious passing downs. Yes, he's throwing for 323 a game, which is absurd, but it doesn't matter because the offense is so pressed to always have to.
And it also kind of seems like they're playing from behind because of the turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers, and then the defense isn't great. The defense is what is it? Can you flip to that real quick? It is it's below average. It's not bad, but it's not good. And it's not average. It's a little bit below average or right at average.
Yeah.
So that's an
issue. And I think you jinxed that too.
No, I said they've been playing better. I didn't say it's a lot better, but I said they had been playing better than what it was last year. And
that is true. It's just but it's just like USC, they're playing better than last year, but it's not a drastic change. It's just a little bit better.
Yeah. It's a positive trend, but like we said, their offense is still really good. It's not as good as it was last year with Neighbors and all those guys. So, this is a team
which is crazy because you have some crazy talented receivers.
Yeah, they still have they still have an NFL QB. That's the thing. They have an NFL offensive line, really good young running backs. It's a talented offense. So that's why I just don't understand and it is down to the QB play essentially. These turnovers are costing them games. They should have beat A&M. They should have beat USC. These games are starting to bite them. Alabama's a lot different. You just got beat. It is what it is. But everyone else, I feel you just beat Ole Miss. A team that just beat Georgia by 18. So
yeah,
or 15 or whatever it was. So
yeah. Like I said, the biggest thing is just going to be the turnovers. You got to take care of the football, especially getting late into the season. You want to. Somehow there is a way they could still make the playoff, which is absurd. But somehow there still is a way. Yes, they can still make the playoffs.
Hardest, depending on what happens at that hardest schedule thing.
But if you want to make the playoffs, You gotta eliminate the turnovers. That's the biggest thing is the turnovers for me. Um, they're averaging 1.4 a game. I feel like it's a little bit more than that, but they're averaging 1.4 a game. Uh,
So yeah, and
and
George.
and Florida's defense is taking away 1.4 a game, so there might be like 2 turnovers in this game from LSU.
Yep, yep.
So
You know that's the thing. It's like he's a gunslinger. So I mean
it comes
his
with it,
mentality is it comes
unfortunately.
with it. And when you have the receivers he has, I mean, you want to give your guys a chance. You
Yeah.
do. So
If DJ's playing, I'm gonna say Florida wins. If DJ's not playing, LSU wins. It'll still be a close one. Um, I'm just gonna say LSU spread for now. Unless DJ's playing, we don't know. We won't know until really game time. Really. Was he
yeah.
running when you're at the game?
Nah, he was just kind of. I didn't see much. He was just kind of throwing, and just that was it. He looked all right. He didn't look gimpy at all, but you never know when you start trying to run and shit.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, they could still technically make a bowl game too.
mhm.
So, what do they got? What do they got? I mean, they got it tougher. They have to win this game because they can beat Florida State. Don't know if they beat Ole Miss, but they have to win this game to make a bowl game.
Yeah, they'll beat Florida. They'll beat Florida State, and I mean they
Yes.
very well could beat Ole Miss too. I mean they got them at home, and DJ's still playing good. I mean it's
Yeah.
a team that almost beat
But
Tennessee
I would rather you win this game than having to win the
for
Ole Miss
sure,
game.
for sure.
They have to win this game to make a bowl game. I'll say that it's a must.
Yeah,
It's a must win for Florida.
that's why I got. That's another reason
It's a
why I have
must
them
win for
winning.
Florida. Must
Yeah,
win. Um, but yeah, eliminate turnovers. LSU wins easily. LSU beats a lot of teams if you don't turn the ball over.
for
That
sure.
Georgia, I mean that Alabama game is a lot closer if they don't turn the ball over. They beat A&M if they don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
So next, I mean this game should be a blowout as well.
Yeah, there's probably not much to cover. I would just say that's a big ass spread. I don't know about 22 and a half.
Like I said, this game should be a blowout. I think their quarterback's hurt too. No, I guess it's. Oh, no, it's Virginia Tech. Um,
Who's
yeah,
been starting at Notre Dame? Is it still Riley Leonard?
yeah, it's Redley.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I mean this game shouldn't
I
be
mean,
close.
Notre Dame should win out. They should blow every team out that they play.
Yeah,
That's
this game
that.
shouldn't be close, but look at their common opponent. They both played Louisville tough, or Louisville played them both tough. Um, so and like if you want to use that as a measuring stick, I mean, Virginia isn't a bad team. They're not by any means. That's why I like the spread here. I think
Maybe just look at their defense. I mean, we already knew that their defense was insane. It's probably the best defense in the country as a team.
yeah, I mean they don't really
Would you
play
say?
the same. Yeah, they just don't really play like anyone that
But even
challenged
when
them.
they did, I mean, I guess the A&M game.
Louisville is the team. Louisville's offense is probably better than A&M's.
Yeah,
And I would say that would probably be the team that actually challenged him. Everyone else is kind of like pretty subpar. I mean, even A&M, like they're
they're
not. They're not great. They're like okay. So like,
yeah.
but I mean, they've been finding some success with the football and offense, and I think that's a good team that's playing good football at the end of the year. Obviously, Notre Dame can't lose. I mean, they might be able to lose a game, but I just don't think anyone on their schedule. I mean, the way they're doing things, I just don't think they could take and afford a loss. So, but yeah, I mean, not too much for me on this game. I think Notre Dame wins. I do think Virginia backdoor covers. So 22 and a half is a lot. So just because it's over 21, I think
There they are.
I think that's why. But
Yeah, they're not losing to anybody in the reigning schedule. They beat
yeah,
Army, they beat USC, they beat Virginia. It's
yeah.
yeah, it's not much for me. Give me Notre Dame cover the spread. Actually, I'm gonna go with that. Notre Dame cover the spread. I know it's high, but I don't think they have an answer.
Yeah.
Give me the over on the points too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. That's what I'm gonna go
Yeah.
over on the points. Notre Dame cover the spread. What we got next? Oh, the fan base that hates you the most.
They don't hate me.
They hate you. They were coming at your neck this offseason.
Yeah, Colorado, Utah, Colorado, big noon kickoff. This is going to be a tough game for Colorado. Multiple reasons. Coming off a good win against Tech, I think this is a good team. I think they're disciplined. But Utah came off an emotional loss. This is a team that is still very well coached, very solid football team, a physical football team, which Colorado has played a lot better against those teams this year, but they still lost to Nebraska early in the year. I know it was early in the year, but that's the team that is priding themselves on being physical, playing physical football. They also lost to K-State, a team that is in the same breath as that. But then obviously when they play these other teams, like more of these finesse teams, things like that kind of match up with them, they've been able to win. So I want to see if Colorado's made some adjustments playing against a physical football team and if they will be able to, win that game in that aspect. That's the only reason I'd say it's difficult. Other than that, I do think Colorado is a lot better than Utah right now, just from a skill standpoint and things like that. But yeah, I just want to see the matchup. I think it could be an interesting matchup for the Buffs and can make it closer than what people think. So,
Um, just they've shown a lot of improvement for me compared to last year. No matter if the team's physical or not. Excuse me. The fact that they were down 10 at Tech and came back to win the game the way they won it shows a lot about the team, shows a lot about the players, and shows a lot how much the coaches have uh, coached them and have the confidence in them. I think that Utah is going to be a tough opponent for them, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere where it's like, oh man, Colorado might lose this game right now. I think Colorado does take care of business. I think it's going to kind of be like the Tech game where they struggle at first to like move the ball for like a few drives, maybe like 2 or 3 drives, and then after that they start rolling and take care of business. Once this offense gets going, there's no stopping it. That's what it comes down to. Their defense is a lot better. I don't think Utah has anything crazy for them offensively.
no, they don't. And their running
So
back just entered the portal. I don't know how much he played, but they had a running back enter the portal
yeah,
this week.
I don't know how much they'll test them offensively, but I know they'll probably have a lot of time of possession, uh, because one, Colorado could score quick. Two, they want to keep the game out of. I mean, they want to keep the ball out of Colorado's hands. So I do think that will be a thing. But other than that, I don't think they will score much on them. So I'm gonna take Colorado to win. I'm gonna take Colorado money line, and I'm gonna take the under on the points.
I like it. I like it.
Almost last but not least, we got Clemson at Pitt. Another ACC matchup. Pitt coming off back-to-back losses. They're going to try to regain here at home. Clemson's on the road. Clemson's coming off of a loss that they should have won, but they didn't. Common opponent. Virginia played them tough. Both of them. Virginia beat Pitt last week,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see how Pitt bounces back. Um, I don't know who Clemson needs to win the most, right? You would
For
say.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Pitt. I think Pitt's probably. I mean, Pitt's definitely out of it. I mean, I mean, they're not out of it, but like Clemson has one loss. They need to win out, and they need Miami and SMU to lose a game because they haven't played any of them. I don't know how they would do that, but they need those guys to lose. Well, actually, Miami already lost, so they still need to win out for sure.
Yeah, they need to win out. If they have 2 losses, it'll be tough.
Yeah.
Um, I, I don't know, man. This game's gonna be tough. I could see this game coming down to the wire. I'll be honest with you.
I don't see that at all.
Really?
No, I don't think Pitt's that good, and I just think their offense is good, but I just from a talent standpoint, like Pitt was beating everyone else, and then The only reason they blew out Syracuse is because of the catastrophic game that Kyle McCord had. And then against SMU, I mean, SMU splattered them, and SMU is in more talented than Clemson. And then you also have who else did Pitt lose to? They just lost to someone else
Virginia.
last week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't think I don't see it being close. I see Clemson winning by a lot. They just had a tough, gritty win against a good solid Virginia Tech team on the road. And I just think Clemson knows that they have to win this game. They still see that there's a chance for them to get in the playoff with Miami losing and things like that. I think they'll just be more prepared, and I think their roster will show up in this game, like from a talent standpoint. I just see them taking care of business.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my
this Clemson team is weird, is the thing. Like they have the talent to go out and beat anybody, but they just they flirt with the losing side a little bit too much. I don't know what it is. I mean, they have. I'm not gonna say a great quarterback. They have a good quarterback, and I feel like that's what it is. It's the quarterback play is why they lose some of these games. I feel like he's a little bit too inconsistent. But there's times where he shows that he can hang with some of the top teams, and there's times that he shows like, what the hell are you doing? So that's why I said this game could be closer than what it actually is because Clemson just they're not dominant, but they have the team to be dominant. I do think Clemson will win this game. I'm gonna say 10 points is still pretty close. I think they're over on the score, and I'm gonna say Pitt cover the spread.
Yeah, I like Clemson here. I just don't think Pitt is as good as we've thought, and I mean the Virginia loss really to me just kind of stands out. And then when they played a team of equal caliber in the conference, the game was not close at all. So I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. So.
Well, the game against Virginia was actually close. It wasn't until like the fourth quarter really is when Clemson pulled away. Clemson couldn't really drive the ball down on them until the second half.
Yeah.
It was at Virginia as well. I'm pretty sure.
No, they were home. Clemson was home.
No, Virginia was home, and Virginia was at Pitt. I think.
No, Clemson was home. I remember watching it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought it was at Virginia.
No.
But yeah, I gave my pick. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than what it is. But we'll see. We'll see. Last but not least.
Yeah. Last but not least, we have Tennessee, Georgia. This is be a very interesting game, must-win game for really both teams, but more so for Georgia. Right now, they're outside looking in. Yeah, right. For outside looking in, just because they lost to Ole Miss. Tennessee, I think, can't afford a loss right now because they have the Bama win, which really is still really sticking out, especially with Bama playing really good football. Bama right now looking to maybe get in that SEC championship with the winner out of Texas and A&M, depending on how things lay. But yeah, I don't know. I really do like Georgia here. I think this is be a big bounce back spot for Kirby. You're going to be at home. They've kind of they've kind of getting through the end of the gauntlet of the schedule, going on the road in Austin, playing Bama, going on the road against Ole Miss, like a crazy schedule, ludicrous schedule, really, for the Bulldogs. And then they finally get to come home, play against a Tennessee team who's been definitely shaky. They are 8-1, but I mean, they could have lost to multiple teams. I mean, Kentucky played them tough. Mississippi State played them tough. Florida played them tough. So there's some teams that have played them tough recently. And the only thing that would make this game, I think, close would be Carson Beck turning the football over. He's had, I think, 11 interceptions in 4 games recently. So that's been a huge issue. Georgia's still winning, but like he didn't play well against Ole Miss, and that ended up costing him in that game. So in a game like this against Tennessee, I think a team that could, Ole Miss was able to generate some pressure, running some stunts and stuff like that. I think Tennessee, if they can install some things like that, Georgia's offensive line has been kind of up and down recently. They can affect this game. But all in all, I think Georgia, Kirby Smart will have the defense fired up, ready to play. I think they'll make adjustments. We already talked about how the offense of Josh Heupel, It's kind of gimmicky. You can stop it, especially if you have the athletes and the guys to get them behind the change. And if Nico's not playing, and like you're having to get Dylan Sampson the ball 22 plus times, that's not a recipe for success, in my opinion. He is a good running back, but he hits some more on those run plays because they're able to throw the football downfield. And if Nico's not healthy, or even if he is able to go, he's been shown to be shaky in some games. I mean, even against Oklahoma, like we got to him twice, made him fumble, So, yeah, I think it'll be a good game. It's going to be an important game. This is a playoff game. But I do have the Bulldogs here. The line moved. It was like plus 11, but it's moving down. I'm not too sure how I feel in that aspect, but I'm going to take Georgia outright, and I'm going to take the under on the total points.
This game is kind of like the Florida game. It really just depends if their best quarterback's going to play or not. If Nico's not playing, this game will not be pretty for Tennessee. Even if he is playing, it won't be pretty, but it'll be a lot closer than if he wasn't playing. On the road, at night, playing in Athens, the crowd's going to be loud, especially after that loss, and they have lots to play for. And they're not happy with the ranking that the committee gave them either.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kirby's going to bounce back after this game. I still think he's a horrible coach, and I hate him.
Yeah, okay.
I think this is Tennessee's. If I don't want to say this because I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how true it is, but I think if Tennessee loses this game, they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I mean, we'll see. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll make it if they don't. If they lose. Now it just depends on what happens. They need some things to happen.
They're gonna need some things to happen.
They're gonna need some teams in the SEC to lose. I think A&M is gonna get knocked off.
I mean, that Vanderbilt game is kind of scary for them too.
Yeah.
So A&M's not even in the playoff right now.
Yeah.
If they lose and A&M's not in the playoff, I really don't think they're going to be in the playoff.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they only have one loss right now. That's the only reason.
Yeah, why. But
and their one loss is to
Arkansas.
Yeah, that's a bad loss. But I mean,
yeah, and A&M's two losses are to South Carolina and Notre Dame, which are going to be better than their two losses.
Yeah, but they would have more if they lose to Texas.
Well, I'm saying like as of right now, like if they lose this weekend,
yeah.
If they lose this week, because A&M plays like New Mexico State or something like that. If they lose this weekend, their two losses will be worse than A&M's two losses.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I can't see how you have them ranked in and A&M ranked out.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think this is kind of their season. If they lose this game, they're out. Obviously, if they win, they're pretty much set in stone. If Nico plays, it's going to be better, but I still don't think that they're going to win this game. I'm going to take Georgia money line, Georgia to cover the spread, and I'm going to take the under on the points as well. One thing I do want to see, though, it's going to be a little chilly out there. Not that it's going to affect it, but it will be a little chilly out there. It's mainly the rain that I was worried about. There'll be one. I mean, I think both teams will turn the ball over. I don't think one team's gonna. I think both teams will have a pick or something in this game.
No, for sure.
But yeah, I'll just pull this up real quick because we didn't really touch on it.
Yeah, I just wanted to run through a quick exercise with that because it's gonna change so much.
Yeah. So 1 Oregon, 2 Ohio State, 3 Texas, 4 Penn State, 5 Indiana, 6 BYU, 7 Tennessee, 8 Notre Dame, 9 Miami, 10 Bama, 11 Ole Miss, 12 Georgia, 13 Boise State, 14 SMU, 15 A&M, 16 Kansas State, 17 Colorado, 18 Washington State, 19 Louisville, 20 Clemson, 21 South Carolina, 22 LSU, 23 Missouri, 24 Army, 25 Tulane.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Tulane getting in there, helping our non-conference. But yeah, I mean, really nothing crazy happened besides Georgia falling a ton of spots. Georgia fell from like 3 to 12. You got to pull up the bracket too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but they fought from then Miami. They went to 9. Is Miami really better than Alabama? And I don't know. I don't think so. So the rankings are kind of interesting. A little exercise before we get into the bracket real quick will be I'm gonna go through really like we'll start at number 1. Could Oregon win a national championship? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Ohio State.
Yes.
Texas.
No.
Really? I'm gonna say yes. Penn State.
Offense is just too inconsistent. No.
Yeah, I agree with that. Indiana.
No.
BYU.
No.
Tennessee.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. Notre Dame.
Yes.
Miami.
No.
I'm gonna say no as well. Bama.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Georgia.
Yes.
Boise State.
Fuck no.
SMU.
No.
A&M.
No.
K-State.
No.
Okay, so like once you get to these teams, like you really like it doesn't really matter. But like I wanted to do that exercise because Indiana, BYU, and Miami specifically, teams in the top 10 that we said no to. Obviously, you said Texas, but I think they could. But Indiana, BYU, Miami, we said no to those teams. So then you have teams ranked behind them that we think can win it. So in my opinion, that's the only reason I say this. I understand why they rank the teams where they rank them, but at the end of the day, you do have to look at it how we did as well, and like be like, okay, we got to put the best possible teams in this thing too, no matter what. Because I mean, they're playing in this. The conferences are so lopsided. BYU would not like if BYU played a schedule Georgia played, they might have 4 wins right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Georgia has 2 losses, but it's because they're playing. They literally played Ole Miss, Texas, Bama, Clemson. They played in Tennessee. They're about to play Tennessee this week. Like they're playing 5 teams on this graphic. So
the reason I say no to Texas is because I look at it as we play like if we play Ohio State on a neutral site, do I think we win? I don't think so. If we played Oregon on a neutral site, do I think they win? I don't think so either. I think that the reason we are don't get me wrong, our defense is great. Our defense is amazing. But the reason our defense is ranked number 1 in the nation is because we haven't played high profile offenses like that. Even then, Georgia's not really a high profile offense. Yeah. If we played Oregon or we played Ohio State, the 2 teams that have the best wide receiver in the best wide receiver core in the nation, they're gonna give us problems. Penn State, I think we'll beat. Indiana, I think we'll beat. BYU, I think we beat. Tennessee is gonna be a close one. Notre Dame, I think we beat. Just because I don't think they'll be able to pass the ball on us. Their main thing is running the game and I think we match up on the run game. Miami, that's gonna be a shootout because they just have whoever Miami plays, they're gonna be in the game.
They're gonna play. They're gonna stay in the game.
Bama, I don't know if we beat Bama. I don't.
I told you. Hey, I told you this last week when I said it was a coin flip.
Yeah, I don't know.
I told you, bro. They're good. They just got to put it all together.
I'm gonna say we beat them, but it's gonna be very, very, very close.
Yeah. No.
So this is why I say I don't. I mean, I guess we can. I guess I can change my answer to yes. Matchups. It's all about the matchup. But like the top 2 teams, I just based just from straight wide receiver play, I don't think we beat them.
Yeah, and it's all matchups because I mean, we're looking at the bracket pulled up, and
so right I guess I'll change my answer to yes to Texas. But if we played the first 2 teams, I don't think we beat them.
Yeah, and y'all are sitting in a good spot. I mean, obviously, you don't want you need it. You'd love Indiana to upset Alabama if this is how what.
Well, we can look at the bracket here.
Yeah, you would love that. You would love that, so you could play Indiana instead of Bama. Because playing Bama in a neutral site, yeah, this is gonna be. I mean, that'd be tough.
Yeah. So this is the bracket. Um,
Not much change besides Georgia dropping out.
Georgia dropping out, but the games
Ole
have
Miss
changed a
dropped
little
in.
bit.
Yeah, Notre
Compared to
Dame was
last
playing
week.
Penn State last time.
Yeah. And Tennessee was playing Indiana. So I'm gonna say Notre Dame, Tennessee. I'm gonna say Tennessee wins that game.
Yeah, I got Tennessee in that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tennessee wins that game. The only thing that Penn State has going for them, Notre Dame has going for them, is they played in Kyle Field at the beginning of the season, so they can deal with the
Yeah, and they'll
loudness.
be fine. I mean, there's a big time program that doesn't affect those.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a close one, but I do think they beat Notre Dame. Boise State, Ohio State. That's not even a question. That's Ohio State.
Will win. Yeah.
Bama, Indiana. People are mad about this one. This is the thing, though. This is the thing. People are mad about this and be like, "Oh, you're telling me Bama won't beat Indiana?" And all. Playoff game on the road at Indiana. The thing here is
it'll be cold too.
It could be snowing.
Yeah.
Are them Southern boys gonna be built for that?
Yeah. Weather will be a big thing.
So that's the big thing I have for that is that. I don't know if them Southern boys gonna be built for that. It's gonna be cold, man. When you get hit, it ain't gonna feel good. Say that much.
Right
you
now,
played in Colorado.
Yeah, right. But right now, I'm gonna still say Alabama only because I haven't seen Indiana against like elite talent like that yet. We'll see it soon against Ohio State.
And that's what I was gonna bring up too. Is
so I just don't know.
Depending on how they play Ohio State, you can't say that Bama will beat Indiana.
Yeah.
Once they play Ohio State and you see how that game goes, that will tell you a lot about Indiana.
Yeah.
Whether they win, whether they lose close, or they get blown out. If they win or lose close, they're a team that's good.
Yeah.
But if they get blown out, then it's like, oh, okay, I told you so.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm gonna pick Bama to win. And then Ole Miss, Penn State. I think this will actually be a really good game. It's gonna be cold as well. Dude, I really don't know.
I honestly lean Penn State at their home because Ole Miss, I know they're good and stuff and they can play well, but like I just think going on the road and not being able to run the football at all in Penn State, and then Penn State has a good defense, I think that'll cause some issues. The only thing with Penn State is like
that's not even Penn State. It's James Franklin.
Well,
it's
not even that. It's just their offense is just like so like mundane. Very, I don't know. Like it's not enough. I think Ole Miss would hit on a couple plays, which would be the differentiating factor. But I do think this game would be like kind of low scoring than we would think. I think Penn State's defense matches up well, and then I think Ole Miss's defense would definitely match up well with Penn State. Besides their secondary, but like Penn State can't challenge them throwing the football.
I don't know because you gave Ole Miss the tied with the first best defensive line in the SEC.
I did,
and you saw how Ohio State played them, and it was at home. So if that defensive line can wreak some havoc, I don't know if Penn State beats them because Penn State. They don't struggle scoring points, but when they play good teams, they don't score that many points.
They don't score touchdowns. That's the issue. Yeah.
And I think I would assume Trey Harris is back by then. So with Trey Harris being back, and he's getting used to all these other receivers while he's out. I think I might lean Ole Miss here.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
yeah. Ole Miss, BYU. That's going to be Ole Miss. I don't think BYU can even keep up with them. Alabama, Texas, I just said it. I think we win, but it's going to be a very, very, very scary close win. It's going to be a nail biter all the way to the last second of the game.
Roll Tide.
Anyways.
Okay.
Tennessee, Oregon. I think Oregon just lights them up.
I think that game would be closer than you think. But
I don't know. Oregon does have a good defense, and it's just Tennessee's offense for me. That's all it is. It's Tennessee's offense. Like you're telling me Nico could go yard for yard with DG?
I mean, no, I just think the game will be closer than you think, just because they just have a good team, a good defense too, a really underrated defense.
Yeah, but we're talking about
I mean,
an offense from hell.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not playing the same. Like the teams Oregon playing from a speed standpoint, besides Ohio State, aren't what Tennessee is either. Like Tennessee is like on par with like Ohio State from a team speed aspect. Like Oregon's throwing, like they're lighting people up, but they're playing slower teams. Like from a team
speed but standpoint. I still think that does matter. Just the way the play calling is and the offense is catered, I think they will light up anybody they play.
Yeah, I think it'll be
the game could be close, or the game could be out of hand. They're going to light up anybody they play. They're going to put yards and they're going to put points up, no matter who they play. Sure. That's what I'm saying. Do you think Nico go yard for yard with DG? I don't. If DG goes and scores 14 points, are you going to be confident enough Nico to go down and score 14 points right with him? No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
I think Oregon, Ohio State, Miami. I think this will be actually a really good game. I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think. I'm going to pick Ohio State, but
they have a better defense.
Yes, but Miami will be in the game.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Oregon. If it was still this, I'm gonna go with. I don't know. That's gonna be the next championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see what the seeding is. That'll probably be their third time playing. But
this is without them playing right now. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Oregon again, and then Ole Miss, Texas. I'm gonna go with Texas, and we're gonna see Oregon, Texas in the Natty for me, and I think Oregon wins first Natty in history.
Yep, I can't have Texas winning no Natty, so I'll love that. That happened.
I mean, hey, the trajectory's forward. We went to the playoff, didn't win. Go to the Natty, didn't win. So it's only looking right that year 3 we go to the Natty and we win.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
I'll see you in Atlanta, man.
All right, well, that'll do it from this episode of 54 Yards. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Find us wherever you're listening this at. Make sure you stay tuned in on the socials for short form clips and posts. And if you guys haven't used Outlier, be sure to use that. Obviously, you got to see more of an in-depth breakdown when Carl's showing some away passing yards and things like that. So be sure to use that code, get you a 7-day free trial. And hopefully we'll have some chaos again this week. Every week we've had something crazy.
As long as it's not us, I'm fine.
Big college football, so I need some teams to, just lose, man. Just lose.
As long as I
don't care because we're not in it no more. So I just want chaos to happen. Chaos. And hopefully we can contribute to the chaos.
You're liking the chaos. Hey, come to the.
I'm not in
it. They, even when you're in it, the chaos and upsets they're fun to watch, man. It's great to see.
So we'll see.
I will say they're only fun when you don't have to prey on people's downfall. Last year, that was stressful.
Yeah,
that was stressful.
Yeah,
but when you don't have to prey on people's downfall, it's fun.
Exactly.
But like Cam said, man. This was another great episode of 54 Yards. Make sure to tune in to the week after. We post that on Tuesdays. Football season's almost over, man. We're getting to the end, but we're getting to the most exciting part of the football season. What we look forward to the most was the 12-team playoff bracket. So we're almost there. But that'll do it from your boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Hook 'em.
Boomer.
Can't say that with that hat on, man. Get out of here.